Hello, Stephanie Zima here, My Way of Life Coaching. And today we're going to talk about I feel like I am not enough to make this work. If you're new to me, I help online entrepreneurs, network marketers, social sellers, content creators, anyone who has an online business to come off this emotional roller coaster of constantly feeling not good enough, not being able to do things, being overwhelmed, having overwhelm, completely mindset boggle, right? Not knowing what to do, being unsure. That's a roller coaster. We learn something, we crash back down because we don't see results, and so on and so forth. That is who I'm helping to come off this roller coaster onto a solid foundation. What that means is you are going to have clarity, you're going to have confidence, and you're going to have mindset mastery, because that is the foundation that you need for any business to work, right? Actually, for anything in life to work that way, but especially in business. If you do not have clarity, if you do not have confidence, if you do not have mindset mastery, meaning you can overcome the obstacles that are coming in your way. And what I mean with obstacles is, aside from the time constraints that we are often dealing with, or they being pulled in multi different directions, I'm also talking about the mindset obstacles. And one of the mindset obstacles is the thought that creeps up on us sometimes, especially when we don't see the results. It's the fact that I don't feel good enough. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Drop in the comments some of the thoughts that you may be having so I can help you reframe them. Because it's really important. Everything starts with a thought, right? It starts with a thought, what you can and what you cannot do. Because when you have a thought, that thought creates an emotion. And when we have an emotion, we are acting. And when we are acting in a certain way, we're also having a result. So when you think about the fact that you're not good enough, often that is subconscious, right? It's not like you're sitting there and thinking to yourself like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough. Sometimes you are, but sometimes it's actually subconscious. But when you have that feeling, you're probably not taking the action. You're probably not doing live videos. You're probably not doing and recording the reels. You're probably not reaching out to your prospects. You're probably not doing the things that are moving the needle forward in an online business. Why do you need to reach out? You need to reach out because without it, you don't have any leads. Okay, it's lead generation. Why do you have to post? You have to post so that you have lead generation. I am going to try to see if I can get the comments up here too. I don't know why. Oh yeah, there we go. I think this would work now. Anyway, so lead generation, when you're reaching out to people actively, meaning action marketing, you are reaching out to them, you're starting conversations, you're connecting with people, that is lead generation. When you are posting something, that's attraction, right? Because you're hoping for somebody to be attracted. Now, how many of you post something and start realizing no one is reaching out back to you? How many of you are having had that experience, right? Now, that experience could spark and trigger inside of you the feeling that, or the thought, I'm just not made out. I'm just not cut out for this. I've been posting. I've been doing the things, and no one cares. You've gone through your warm market, you've gone through everybody that you know, you harassed everybody, they're running away from you in the grocery store, your neighbors are shutting the doors on you when you walk by, right? People will do that because you've gone through your warm market. Everybody knows what you have to sell and they don't want to buy it. And when you post about it to strangers, they are not reacting. Nobody is doing anything. And so very easily could you start developing this mindset that you're just not good enough. And maybe that's even true. Okay. Maybe that's even true, because if you just post something, it's not going to do anything for you. Okay. I found this out the hard way too. For the last couple of months, for example, my output has plummeted down, right? My post reach has has almost come to an end. And why was that? Because I wasn't engaging with the right people, with the right content. I was numbing out as just like everybody else. We are not immune to this. No matter how good you are, no matter how much you are not immune to feeling stuck somehow. And I mean, I know why I started doing this, because my kid had surgery and I was up in my feelings a little bit, and it was hard. You have to heal. But I also know that that is just a season. I know that this will never stop me in my tracks, right? Because my mission and my vision is so big that I'm only getting started. So even when I have a bad result, I don't make that result mean anything about me. Okay, that's where the kicker is. This is where the difference is between when you think you are not good enough. Now what you're doing is you are starting to lose courage, right? You're not posting anymore, and all you do is you perpetuate the reach lack, right? The fact that you are not being seen. If you're not reaching out and talking to people, you can't sell anything. And they're not going to reach out to you because they don't even know that you exist. See, this is sometimes what we are not understanding. We see all these people online. We see thousands and thousands and hundreds of millions of people online. Nope, those are just numbers. Those are just numbers. These people do not know you. And I feel like so many of us have put so much thought into, oh, I need to have thousands of followers on my social media. And we make that mean something about us. When in fact, when we make this mean something about us, okay, what could that mean? We are either not good enough, or we could say, oh, we have lots and lots and lots of followers. That means we are successful, but does that transfer dollars into your pocket? Probably not. Okay. So the fact is, when you are thinking that you're not good enough, you will feel something. And the key is, what we need to do is we need to change that original thought that we are not good enough. I am going to tell you a quick story. Okay. So my daughter and I were just doing homework, and we are doing multiplication tables, and the multiplication tables, and she's a bigger empath too, right? So the multiplication tables obviously need to be learned. It's just a fact that some things we know and some things we don't know. So as we were doing this, I could feel her emotions. Like every single time she didn't know something, she was getting very sad. And I asked her, I'm like, what do you mean? What do you make that mean about yourself if you don't know something? And she says, well, I don't know. So she couldn't really put this into perspective. And often that is the case with you all too. If you have a thought that maybe is even subconscious, you are not aware of that thought. You just know that you're feeling frustrated or sad or lonely, or name the emotion. But many of us don't name the emotion. You have to name the emotion, and sometimes peel back the layers to actually be able to work with this originating thought. Okay. So when you have this, I feel I'm not good enough with this work, for this work, thought, it's kind of like, I don't know these timetables. And so I told her, all that means is you do not have the skill right now. So if you don't see results with your posting or with your reach outs, you could make that make a fact, you just missing some skills instead of I'm not good enough. Okay. Do you see how that works? Like, you have to understand that when you don't have a result, it doesn't mean that you as a person are not good enough. Okay. It doesn't mean that. I know it feels like that. You want to make it mean I cannot sell, or no one is buying, or my upline is not good enough, or whatever it is that you're telling yourself to ease that pain. Okay, because it's very painful to think I'm not good enough, I suck at this. That's very painful. That's very painful. So we want to try to push that away. That's all the stuff is what we are doing subconsciously. We're pushing the uncomfortable away. But you know how they always tell you need to dive into the uncomfortable? This is what we're talking about. We are talking about sitting with the pain for a minute, becoming aware, aware of what are we feeling in this matter. We need to have emotional mastery if we want to succeed in our business. We must have emotional mastery, and that is part of it. You have to learn how to start. Okay, how to start. You need to learn how to sit with this emotion, become aware of the originating thought, and then learn how to work with this thought. Okay, because how do we learn to work with this thought? If we say we're not good enough to make this work, you can set pro and contra, right? You have a piece of paper like this, you draw a line in the middle, and then you say all the things that make this statement true. I'm not good enough, right? You would write in there, for example, nobody is responding to my post. Nobody is buying anything from me. No one is having conversations with me. No one is responding to when I'm reaching out to them. My spouse says I suck at it. My kids are annoyed when I work. You fill that in. And then on the other side, you can say contra, why do you think that you're good at it? What are the antidotes to this? Maybe you are good enough because you want to help somebody. You want to help a lot of people, and your product that you're choosing to sell is actually helping a lot of people. This is not just for network marketing. This is also for insurance agents. This is for real estate people too. It doesn't matter what business model you are in, if it's network marketing, social selling, affiliate marketing, content creators, you're selling something. Okay. You always want to think, do I help somebody? Right? Realtors, for example, you're helping somebody find the home that they are going to raise their family in. You're helping somebody raise children, legacies. You fill in the blank. What does it mean for you to sell a home? What does it mean for you to sell insurances to people? What does it mean? Okay. Are you good at that? Are you good in explaining that? Do you have clarity around why you are supposed to do something, why you wanting to do something? Most of you start in your business because a friend of a friend or a friend told you to buy this product, and you can make very quick $200, $300, $400, $500, right? That's what they told you. So your expectation is, oh, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to post a couple times about it, and now I'm going to make the $300 or $500. Now, when you are in your warm market, meaning your friends and family, and you first start and you make your first post and say, I'm so excited. I got this. I'm doing this. Yes, you will have 10, 15, 20 people that are all excited for you and that say, yeah, I want to get on board with that. Okay. And so they're going to buy from you, and then maybe maybe you can duplicate it. Maybe they have a couple of friends, and blah, 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 blah. Eventually that'll dry up though. That's where you are at right now. When you start trying to reach out and no one is going to buy this from you, this is where it's starting to mess with your mindset. Okay. This is what, remember the roller coaster I said, you're going up the roller coaster, you are on a high, you are making things happen, and then boom, out of the sudden you come into the valley. Now, when you get into this valley, this is where the real work starts. Okay. You cannot call yourself an online entrepreneur if you made 2 customers. That's not where the deep work is going to be, because you are going to come to the point where you are not good enough, where your post is not good enough. Okay. And that means you need to have some skills. So you first need to have clarity. What is the benefits of the things that you are selling, and how are you qualified to give this? And this is where you're stuck. You are stuck because you don't know the qualities that you're possessing. See, I know why I'm a great coach. I am a great coach because I'm very resilient. I am very capable of pivoting on a dime. I am very capable of reading people's emotions. I am very capable of thinking on top of my head and building brands in seconds. Okay, I am very capable of constantly pivoting and finding new ways. And my brain is constantly going, helping people figure things out for themselves. Why? Because not just the training and the coaching training that I've received, but because I lived it. See, I grew up in a foster family where we had new kids in our family for every 4 to 6 weeks. I did not know these people. I did not know who they were, what they wanted from me. They were sometimes really difficult characters. Sometimes they weren't. Sometimes they were good kids, but they were always good kids. However, they had really tough, emotional charged situations. And me as a child, I had to deal with this all the time. Okay, so I had to learn how to read the room really quickly. I had to learn how to use energies. See, I did all of this stuff subconsciously. When you're a kid, you don't realize this, right? It wasn't that I was so great. I just learned how to adapt really quickly. Really quickly, I learned how to adapt. And that is what now is my superpower. This is what makes me a great coach, especially one-on-one, right? I mean, when people are interacting with me, I can quickly decide and move on a dime and come up with situations that are helpful to them. Now, what is it for you? Can you write your prose? Can you write it there? This is what you need to get clarity on in order to make this thought, this original thought that's keeping you from taking action, this original thought you need to prove wrong. Okay, so when it wants to tell you I'm not good enough, your brain consciously can say, you liar, of course I'm good enough because X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3. I am good enough because. Okay, so then you can already disprove this original thought that made you feel bad. And then you can become curious about the other solution. What else could be true? Okay, I'm not having results. I'm not able to do these things. Why? Why am I not able to do these things? Now, see, this is the second part. People then start looking at other people. Okay, you are looking at your upline, you're looking at your sideline, and you're like, everyone is earning all these cruises, everybody is doing all the things. Like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Boom, here comes the next thought that is triggering an emotion. That thought is actually then starting a shame spiral in you. Okay, all of a sudden you're in comparison mode and you're like, oh my gosh, everybody's doing all the things, but I'm not. And now you're in a shame cycle. That shame cycle is going to make you feel what? Defeated? Fill in the blanks. What does it make you feel like? Once you are feeling that, whatever that thought is, that feeling, that emotion that you're feeling there, what is the action that you're taking from that? Okay. When you then have that action, your result is likely matching. So if your action is, like, let's say your feeling was defeated, your action is you're procrastinating, you are retreating, you are not reaching out, you're not posting, you're not engaging with people. Guess what's going to happen to the algorithm? The algorithm is going to lower your reach. Okay, which then again proves the original thought that I wasn't good enough. When in fact, if you again just objectively take a look and say, okay, this person is having a lot of results. What is this person all doing that I'm not doing? Okay, you're taking the emotion out. And often, and this is the tricky part with social media, you can't tell what these people are doing. You can see what they're posting, but you cannot tell if they are engaging the algorithm in a certain way. You cannot tell how many messages they're sending, how many people they're engaging with. All of these things behind the scenes matter. You probably have heard that you build your business in the dark, right? This is what they mean. Okay, this is what they mean. There's actions, there's skills, there's things that you have to do in order to make that reach go, in order to make that attraction happening. You have to do that. You have to do certain things, certain activities, but you can't do these certain activities if your emotions and your feelings are keeping you stuck. Okay, All right. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you can take something away. I would love for you to put the takeaways down in the comments, put your questions down in the comments. I would love to let you know that it is so possible for you to rework your paradigm, for you to rework those thoughts that you're having, to take those informations, work them through this coaching model, and then actually being able to start seeing results, right? This is so important because you are important. You are enough. You are more than capable to do this. There are people that are seeing the reason why some people are succeeding and you may not, could simply be the fact that they're not having the same thoughts as you do. See, if they grew up with a family, for example, that always made them like feel a certain way, they may don't make, like if their post does not have a reach, they are not thinking I'm not good enough. They're just thinking, oh, the post doesn't have a reach. Okay. But you, who maybe has a lens of looking at it from a more critical angle, you may make that fact that the post does not have a reach, you may make that mean that you are not good enough. Okay. That's what it is. The thought, the feeling, and the meaning we attach to it. That is where it's at. That is where the secret sauce is. This is what's going to be life changing and absolutely transformative for you. And this is, by the way, this kind of stuff that we are working through in the Walk It Free mentorship, in the Freedom Mentorship. I have multiple different options available for you. The cheapest one is $27, you guys. For $27, you can pop into the group session. And the reason why I made it only $27 is because I didn't want money to be the obstacle. I didn't want you not having money to invest in coaching be the reason why you lose. I know that online businesses, network marketing, social selling is so beneficial to especially mothers who are sitting at home, who are needing to have some extra money. So I tell you, if I would have not been in network marketing, I would have never blended a six-figure income job, right? I would have not been able to do the things that I'm doing right now, right? I would have never, ever been able to have that self-esteem in sales that I have now. Because see, the thing is, I want you to really hear that. The thing is, when you are a stay-at-home mom, yes, you are helping your children. Yes, you are there for them. And that is all great and dandy, nice and dandy, but you're also dependent and you're also not having an option. You're also not able to get out. And the mindset mess that you facing when you then go back into the working world, so to speak, after been homes for so long, that was huge. When I went back into the working world to get insurance and to make sure I also have stable income while I'm going through the separations and stuff, that mindset obstacle was huge for me, right? It's one thing to feel confident when you're at home, but when you now talk to business people again and men with suits and all that stuff, it's a different game. And that confident level, that needed to be inquired. And it's the same principle. You are dealing with your thoughts, you're dealing with the emotions, the meaning attach to it, right? If I think I'm just a stay-at-home mom, why should anybody listen to me? Of course, my demeanor is going to be different. Of course, my confidence is going to go down to the drain. Or when you're just starting in your business, for example, you are thinking, I'm just not good enough. Everybody else here has so much more experience. Well, yes, they may have more experience, and that's okay. How can you, curiosity again, how could you get more experience? What topics do you need to learn on? And so on and so forth. I tell you, I want to invite you, Freedom Mentorship, if you are wanting to get polished up, if you're wanting to get into a tribe that is dealing with messy emotions and is willing to be there for one another and hold each other's hands and build a support circle, this is what Walk It Free is all about. This is what the mentorship is all about. And do not be fooled that the value is little for $27. I literally just didn't want money to be the obstacle. for anybody. I wanted you to have the opportunity to build, to get yourself into a circle, into business thinking, and I wanted you to have that accessibility for you that I didn't have, right? Because for many years, I was feeling alone. I didn't feel like I had a mentor that I could really reach out to and ask questions and be answered all the time. I had a lot of implementation questions, but I couldn't answer them and I couldn't ask them anywhere. And I don't want that to be the case for you. So I hope this was beneficial. I got to go, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. This is Stephanie.